Dr. D. Prem Anand. He has pursued his Master's, his MPhil and PhD in physics from Loyola College, Madras University. He has been actively doing research since 2004. His area of specialization is crystal growth and its characterizations, nanomaterials and polymers which are used in solid-state batteries. He is guiding 6 more research scholars in the field of crystal growth, nanoscience and polymer science. He has published more than 75 research papers and he currently works as a professor of physics at St. Xavier's College, Palayamkotte, Tamil Nadu.
Welcome to UGC lecture series in physics for BSc Physics Honours. In the previous lecture, we discussed the various critical constants, how to derive the critical temperature and critical volume, and we discussed about the salient features of van der Waals equation, and also we explained about the corresponding states. In this lecture series, we will be discussing the following topics. The topics are outlined as follows: van der Waals equation of state, coefficient of van der Waals constant, properties of matter near critical point, experimental determination of critical constants, Boyle temperature, virial coefficient with respect to Boyle temperature. While deriving the perfect gas equation, the perfect gas equation says that P V is equal to R T, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, R is the Rydberg gas constant and T is the temperature. So, in order to derive the van der Waals equation of state, we shall assume the following parameters. Point number 1, you should take the size of the gas molecule as very smaller, or in other words, the size of the molecule of the gas is negligible. And also we should assume that the forces of intermolecular attraction are absent while deriving the van der Waals equation of state. But in actual practice, at high pressure, the size of the molecules of the gas becomes significant and it cannot be neglected in comparison with the volume of the gas. Also at high pressure, the molecules come closer and the forces of intermolecular attraction are appreciable. Therefore, in order to overcome all this, a correction should be applied while deriving the gas equation. There are corrections like correction for pressure and correction for volume you should apply while deriving the van der Waals equation of state. And what is the correction for pressure, or what do you mean by pressure correction? If a gas molecule is inside a cylinder, therefore, what will happen to the gas molecules? The gas molecules will experience a force of attraction in all the corners or in all the directions, and therefore, the resultant force of this gas molecule will be 0. Therefore, a molecule near the walls of the container experiences a resultant force inwards also. Therefore, due to this special reason, the observed pressure of the gas is less than the actual pressure, and the correction for pressure depends on the number of molecules striking unit area of the walls of the container per second and the number of molecules present in a given volume. Both these factors depend on the density of the gas. Therefore, the pressure correction is P is directly proportional to, it is rho squared, it is directly proportional to 1 by V squared, Therefore, we will remove this proportionality constant and we write it as P is equal to A by V squared, where A is a constant and V is the volume of the gas. Hence, the corrected pressure is P plus P. Therefore, P plus it is A by V squared. A by V squared is the corrected pressure. Therefore, the correct pressure is P plus A by V squared. And we will go for volume correction. The fact that the molecules have infinite size also shows that the actual space for the movement of the molecules is less than the volume of the vessel. Hence, the molecules have the sphere of influence around them, and due to this factor the correction for volume is B, where B is approximately 4 times the actual volume of the molecules. Therefore, the corrected volume of the gas is V minus B. Let us consider or let us assume the radius of a single molecule is small r. Therefore, the volume of the molecule we will denote by the letter x, that is where x is the volume of the molecule. Therefore, the volume of the molecule is 4 by 3 pi r squared. We assume that the molecule is a sphere, and correction for volume, the center of any two molecules can approach each other only by a minimum distance of twice the radius, that is the diameter of each the molecule. Therefore, the volume of the sphere of the influence of each molecule is given by S is equal to, where S is the volume of the sphere of the influence of molecule, it is 4 by 3 pi. In place of r, I am putting 2 r, because it is the diameter of each molecule. So, when I simplify this, it is 4 by 3 into pi into 2 r cube, 2 r cube 8 r power 3. Therefore, we can say that it is 32 pi r cube by 3. So, this is nothing but it is 8x. And in order to derive the van der Waals equation of a state, let us consider a cylinder of volume V, and if we assume that the molecules enter one by one into the cylinder, therefore, the volume available for the first molecule is V, and similarly the volume available for the second molecule is V minus S. The volume available for the third molecule is V minus 2S. The volume available for the third molecule is V minus 3S, and so on. Similarly, we can calculate what is the volume available for the nth molecule. The volume available for the nth molecule is equal to, it is V minus n minus 1 into S. So, we will calculate what is the average space available for each molecule. The average space available for each molecule is V plus V minus S plus V minus 2S plus V minus 3S. It goes on till V minus n minus 1 into S divided by n. The total number is n. Therefore, taking V as the common factor and S by n as the common factor, I get V minus S by n 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n minus 1, or it is V minus S by n. Therefore, the whole term is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n minus 1. The whole term value is n into n minus 1 by 2. So, when I simplify this, I get it is V minus it is S by n or ns by n plus it is S by 2. So, this is the term we are getting. As the number of the molecule is very large, the value of S by 2 can be neglected. Therefore, it becomes as V minus ns. Therefore, it becomes it is V minus ns by n. Therefore, the average space available for each molecule is V minus Ns by 2. Since the value of S is 8x, substituting in this expression, I get V minus N into 8x divided by 2, or that is equal to, it is V minus N into 4x, that is equal to, it is V minus B, or it can be written other words as V minus 4xn is equal to, it is V minus B. Since B is equal to 4nx, that is the 4 times the actual volume of the molecules, then I can say P plus A by V squared into V minus Vb is equal to RT. Therefore, from this P is RT divided by V minus B minus A by V squared. Now, let us discuss the van der Waals equations of state by plotting a family of plots against the pressure and volume. So, we get 3 family of curves along the pressure volume plot. In all these 3 graphs, the horizontal portion is missing or the horizontal portion is absent. But in this place, a curve like ABCDE is obtained. This curve ABCDE does not agree well with the Andrews experiment on carbon dioxide. However, the portion AB is due to the supercooling of the vapor and the portion ED is due to the superheating of the liquid, and the curve BCD could not be properly explained because there is a slow decrease in volume along with pressure, but it is not possible in the actual practice. Therefore, the states AB and ED, these are the states AB and ED. AB is due to the supercooling of the gas and ED is due to the superheating of the liquid. These 2 points AB and ED are unstable, but it can be realized in practice by careful experimentation. At higher temperatures, the theoretical and experimental isotherms are similar. Therefore, taking all this into matter, Dick Terry, a scientist, has suggested an equation, van der Waals equation. He states that the equation should be in the form of P into V minus B is equal to RT into e power minus A by RTV. Similarly, Berthelot, a scientist, has suggested an equation P plus A by V squared into V minus B is equal to RT. So, we have obtained the values of various van der Waals constant, and let us recollect the coefficient of van der Waals constant. So, Vc is 3b, we already derived in the previous lecture, and also Pc is equal to A divided by 27b squared, Tc is equal to 8a by 27 Rb. From all these 3 equations, I can obtain small a is equal to 27 R squared Tc squared divided by 64 Pc. So, dividing the critical temperature and critical pressure Tc by Pc, I get it is 8b by R, and since B is equal to RTC, since B is equal to it is RTC by Pc, 8 Pc. So, this it is Tc by Pc is equal to it is 8b by R. From this we will calculate what is B. 8b Pc is equal to it is RTC. So, therefore, B is equal to it is RTC by 8 Pc. So, this is the value of B we have obtained. Therefore, equating this, I get RTC by Vc Pc is equal to 8 by 3. The quantity RTC by Vc Pc is called the critical coefficient of a gas. Its calculated value is 8/3 and it is same for all the gases. We will discuss about the properties of matter near the critical point. The state of matter near the critical point can be summarized. Point number 1, the densities of the vapor and the liquid gradually approach each other and their densities are equal at the critical point. At the critical point or just near the critical point, the line of demarcation between the liquid and the vapor disappears. Therefore, there must exist a mutual diffusion between the two phases and the surface tension must be 0. This also means that the forces of intermolecular attraction in the liquid and the vapor state must be equal at the critical point. The state of matter near the critical point can be summarized. The whole mass of the substance exhibits a flickering experience which indicates that there may be a variation of density inside the mass, and this point has been experimentally verified. The compressibility of the vapor becomes infinite at the critical temperature. How to experimentally determine the critical constants? The critical constants can be determined by plotting the isothermals between the pressure and volume with the different temperatures. The critical point is found on the graph where the horizontal portion of the curve just vanishes. The pressure, volume and the temperature corresponding to the critical point gives the critical constants of the gas. With the help of Cugnard-De La Tour's apparatus, the temperature at which the liquid meniscus disappears and reappears are carefully noted. The mean of these two temperatures gives the critical temperature of the gas. Therefore, for this, the bulb is surrounded by a bath whose temperature is controlled by a sensitive thermostat arrangement, and the temperature of this apparatus is varied by say 0.1 degree centigrade. We can calculate the pressure with the help of the apparatus or with the help of a manometer fitted inside the apparatus. The pressure corresponding to the critical temperature gives the critical pressure. However, the measurement of critical volume offers a practical difficulty because even the temperature is slightly below the critical temperature, the change in the volume is very large even for a small change in pressure. Cailletet and Mathias have suggested a method for the determination of critical volume. The density of the liquid is determined accurately at different temperatures. The density of saturated vapor is also determined accurately for the same temperature range. Therefore, a graph is plotted between density and temperature. So, take temperature along the x axis and density along the y axis. You plot a graph between this density and temperature, and if you plot a graph, it is clearly seen that the density of the liquid decreases with the rise in temperature, and also the vapor increases with the rise in temperature. So, on the graph represent the points like A, B, C and D. These points A, B, C and D represents the mean density of the liquid at a corresponding temperature T1, at a corresponding temperature T2, at a corresponding temperature T3, at a corresponding temperature T4. Produce the line from A to T1, from B to T2, from C to T3, from D to T4. After producing the lines, extrapolate the lines to meet the line at the point P. The density corresponding to the point P is obtained from the graph. Let us call this density as rho. Hence, the specific volume is Vc is equal to 1 by rho. This represents the critical volume. The temperature corresponding to the point P, the temperature corresponding to the point T gives the critical temperature. So, this is how you will measure the critical temperature using the density temperature graph. And what is Boyle temperature? The coefficient B has a special importance. For all gases, it varies in a similar manner. Its value is negative at low temperatures, but gradually it increases to 0 and becomes positive as the temperature is increased. The temperature at which the coefficient of B is 0 is called the Boyle temperature. The Boyle temperature is represented by the symbol Tb. At this temperature, Boyle's law holds good over a wide range of pressure, provided the constants are negligible. Thus, at a Boyle temperature, d by dP of Pv is equal to 0, or therefore, Pv is a constant. From van der Waals equation of a state for a real gas, P plus A by V squared into V minus B is equal to RT, where A and B are the van der Waals constant. Solving this equation, I can write it is Pv minus Pb plus A by V squared into V, A by V squared into V. So, it is plus A by V minus AB by V squared is equal to RT. So, this is the expansion of this term, and from this we can calculate what is Pv. Therefore, Pv is equal to, it is RT plus Pb plus AB by V squared minus A by V. So, this is the term we are getting, but approximately V is equal to, it is RT by P. So, putting this value of V is equal to RT by P in the equation, we get P into RT by P is equal to RT plus Pb minus AP by VRT plus AB P squared R squared T squared. Comparing, we get capital A is equal to RT, small b is equal to B minus A by RT, and C is equal to AB by R squared T squared. At Boyle temperature, the temperature T is equal to Tb and B is equal to 0. So, therefore, we have 0 is equal to B minus A by RTB, where RTB is called the Boyle temperature. So, this equation gives the value of Boyle's temperature for all gases obeying van der Waals equation of state. Clearly, Boyle temperature depends upon A and B, which are different for different gases. Hence, Boyle temperature is different for different gases. For nitrogen, the Boyle temperature is 50 degrees centigrade, and for hydrogen it is minus 169 degrees centigrade, while for helium it is minus 254 degree centigrade. And this is the schematic graph showing pressure along the x axis, PV along the y axis, and a family of graphs are plotted when the graphs are plotted, we get three similar graphs. The three similar graphs can be interpreted with respect to the boil temperature. Above the boil temperature, the graph looks like a straight line, and at the boil temperature the graph is also a straight line. Below the boil temperature, the graph is not a straight line. Therefore, the behavior of gases above, below and at boil temperature is expressed by plotting the product P V against P for different temperatures. So, plotting the graph, some of the conclusions can be drawn. There will be three conclusions: at the boil temperature, below the boil temperature and above the boil temperature. Now, let us discuss what happens if the temperature is below the boil temperature. So, below the boil temperature, the pressure gradually decreases and increases to the maximum volume. At the boil temperature, there is no change, and above the boil temperature, the pressure increases. So, below the boil temperature suggests that there exists an intermolecular attraction, and above the boil temperature indicates that the intermolecular attraction is less significant, and at the boil temperature, Boyle's law is obeyed over a wide range of pressure. Therefore, boil temperature is that temperature above which a real gas behaves like an ideal gas, and also it obeys Boyle's law. Now, let us discuss what is virial coefficient. Virial coefficient is given by the equation of the form as P V dash is equal to A plus B P P, A plus B P into C P squared plus D P power 3, where A, B, C, D are constants. Therefore, if at any temperature B is equal to 0, therefore, we can neglect C and D. Therefore, it is dou by dou P of P V is equal to B plus 2 C P plus 3 into D P squared is approximately 0. Therefore, P V is equal to a constant and A is equal to R T. At moderate and low pressure, it is sufficient to retain only the first two terms, that is P V is equal to A plus B P. As P is equal to 0 and P V is tending to A, therefore, what happens to this? The gas obeys Boyle's law. Note 2, dou by dou P of P V is equal to B is equal to 0. Now, let us summarize what we have learned so far in this lecture. We discussed about the van der Waals equation of state, and we derived the various coefficients of van der Waals constant. We briefly explained the properties of matter near the critical point and how to experimentally determine the critical constants and what are all the virial coefficients with respect to the boil temperature. These are the following questions to be answered at the end of this lecture. Derive van der Waals equation of state, arrive at the coefficients of van der Waals constant, discuss the experimental determination of critical constant, obtain virial coefficient with respect to boil temperature. Thank you.